What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Unspoken Truth Podcast. I'm so sorry for the delay, man. We had some technical difficulties, but we on here. Tonight's episode is about home ownership. We're gonna get right into it. Mr. Group Homes, aka Duane Griffin. hmm All right, we in the building. All
Yo, yo,
right.
yo.
Finally, we got some resolution.
What's happening?
What's happening?
It's going, it's
Uh,
going.
Mr. Griffin, because we didn't know each other for a long
Come on.
time. So let's
Tell them
talk.
now. Tell them the truth now.
Let's
Don't
talk
hold back
about
from the
it.
people.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I would say from fourth, fifth grade,
Mm-hmm.
I've
That's
known
about
you.
right.
So now this is 20 plus years later. Um, let's talk about this group home thing you got going on. Because I've always seen you as a leader, even in school,
Mm-hmm.
from sports to coaching and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Talk to us about, because tonight is about home ownership. I think that you are a pillar in our community for that currently. Talk to us about this group home thing that you started and why. Like, what is the why behind it? Because I always feel like people have to have a why behind anything that they do. So let's just talk about that. Like, what prompted you to even start doing group homes or home ownership?
Thank you. Thank you. Well, first and foremost, I would like to say thank you for allowing me to be on your platform. Thank you for um, providing this platform for the community. And then also, thank you for just doing what you do. So, I want to
Oh,
tell you thank you
I
before
appreciate
before we
that.
get started, man. It's especially you're special to me. You got me on a Friday at 8 o'clock at night. Cause I be trying to put down the Mr. Grupo's hat.
Hey,
But
well,
I got you, man. So I thank you again, for having me. But I'll get right into it. Don't want to keep the people waiting. So just work group homes. Let's go for group homes. So I used to be in special education. As I played football, and when I finished up at Virginia Union University, that was the last school I attended. Started out at
okay.
the University of Akron playing football, but every group home that I have or been a part of has been some type of past from my history and growing up on
Okay.
Lonebrook in Warrensville Heights, a suburb of Cleveland. I always got to say that because some people either watching this from Cleveland and they need to understand where I grew up at, and then other people, some nationwide people, they need to understand what Warrensville is and the demographic of Cleveland. So I always just try to put those tidbits in there
Mhm.
for our national show. You
Precisely.
heard me? So just growing up in Warrensville and just seeing some disparities in our community, especially with drugs, and then always growing up and hearing this R word, and the R word we're gonna get into it, and which is retarded, right?
Okay. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
um, people don't. Some people may or may not know that it was a medical term used to diagnose some individuals that had some learning disabilities, some physical disabilities, and then also some intellectual disabilities.
Mhm.
So the government decided to name these individuals MMRD, excuse me, MMR, MRDD,
Mhm.
mentally retarded developmental disability or disabled.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so, growing up in the '90s, you always hear like these terms in these movies. You still hear it to this day, which makes me cringe. But because I have friends that have has a series of kids and other relatives that fall underneath this spectrum, but um, mentally retarded, developmental disabled, and so this word retarded, and so growing up, the Likes family that lived across the street from me
Mm-hmm.
had an uncle, Uncle Shug, and
Hmm.
he was impacted by autism, and he's autistic. And one of the issues that we had one morning is Uncle Shug didn't get his proper change for the vending machine for his day program, and Uncle Shug went loose on me. He knocked on the door, and it just so happened Uncle Shug went loose on me. I feel like he was attacking me, but in the same sense, if anyone knows any autistic or individuals that fall underneath the spectrum, they very, 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 very structured.
Hmm.
So when it
They
comes
have to
to
be. They gotta be.
that,
I
that's
have a bunch of people in my family. I also feel like it's a cultural thing. I don't want to say that it's just us, but
mhm.
more of us than others
Got you.
are dealing with this.
No
Hmm.
doubt, no doubt, and I'm sure case studies and all that stuff can kind of see that this going goes on. So anyway, Uncle Shug didn't get his proper change for the vending machine, and that triggered him to have a sort of behavior, and that behavior just so happened to be me at the time because my mom, usually give him some money and stuff like that. So and then you could relate to like movies like Something About Mary,
Hmm.
where she had the brother on the spectrum, and then other movies like The Accountant with Ben Affleck,
Hmm.
where he was on the spectrum as well. And I'm not sure if you recorded. Are you familiar with that movie?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so, if you can recall, when they told him that the assignment was over and he wasn't done mathing,
Hmm.
and that totally threw him off.
Hmm.
And all that structured stuff that he did every day, he was crashing the car. He was very well put together. You know what I'm saying? But when he ordered the movie Rain Man, so
Ooh, that's
so
a good
it's. I mean, I can go on. I can name movies for days. Radio. So I can name movies for
one.
days. But um, fast forward, and I started working in the school districts, and one of my student moms asked me to work at her group home. She thought I would be a good fit, and just like people in our community, we try to go get 2 and 3 jobs thinking we about to get rich, right?
Mm.
So I got this second job. I got this second job working at the group home, and really started to enjoy and like some of the duties that I had to do on an everyday basis. I was working part time, and then I pick up full time in the summertime. And just so happened, one year I got into a bit of a skirmish with some kids, some students at the high school, and I had to shift gears in my career as far as education. And so
Okay.
I wound up picking up full time with the group homes, and that's when I really learned the business by working with the individuals. That's where I learned to love at, and then I just started climbing up the ladder from there. So I started at the $10 an hour job, and then just started working my way up. So I
Okay.
worked my way up to house manager, understood how to run the house, what to do, doing payroll, the hours, conducting the schedule. Then I moved up then I left that job and went to the a state job, which was Warrensville Developmental Center, and they had some very aggressive clients in there. So I worked in there, did a great job working my way up the totem pole, and I did a great job in there. Then I wind up going to another job, which was Achievement Centers for Children, and that's the building that's right across from Warrensville High School to the left
Hmm.
a little bit.
Yeah.
That's they serve as adults and children with that's on the spectrum
Hmm.
as well. So I started
Okay.
working at their day program in Strongsville. So I worked in the state facility. I worked in regular houses,
Hmm.
and I worked in the day program. So and then my last job, I was actually the program manager for the biggest provider of adults with developmental disabilities in the state of Ohio, and that's why I really learned how to start these homes, how to get their benefits going, how to get furniture vouchers, you name it, how to really start a home from scratch, and then put the client in, and then put employees in there to run the house and so on and so forth. So I learned my skills all on job training. So some of these, these gurus and on Instagram and stuff talk about, don't, you know, don't get a job and get it, what I'm saying, start a career, start your own business. Well, that was my training for my own business. So,
Okay.
just so happened, this is the night that really changed my life. Just so happened I had a few call offs and I couldn't get anybody to work, so I had to go in. So I went to the house, and mind you, I was over 15 caseloads. Keep that number by your pocket, okay? Because in that house I was watching three guys overnight. And so I'm going over their paperwork and I'm looking, and the paperwork in the back of the book, you have to do notes every shift or every night. And I'm looking in
Mm-hmm.
the back of the book and I see that my company had a budget of some money. I'm like, what is this 300,000 right here? And then I looked to the left and it had my company's name to it. I said, I know they ain't making 300,000 off this person. Then I looked closely and it was his budget over the 3 years. So then I seen the breakdown. My company was making $100,000 over for the year for that individual, right?
Ooh.
So I closed that book and I opened up. I said maybe that was just a coincidence. I opened up the second one, same thing, 100 plus. Third one, same thing, 100 plus. Now these guys up sleep. I'm the one that has the relationship. I'm the one that calm them down when they getting riled up. I'm the one that have the relationship with their guardians and their parents. And I'm getting paid less. I was making 42,000 a year. Now, mind you, how many caseloads I told you I had total?
15. You said
15.
15.
So at least if we had 15 caseloads, let's do the math. I'm good at math now, real good at math. So at
Okay.
least if they average 100,000 at 15 caseloads, that's $1.5 million.
Absolutely. All day long.
That's $1.5 million
All
dollars.
day
So
long.
from that night on, I started getting my certification, serving adults with developmental disabilities, and that was 2018.
Okay.
2018, I started that. And so it took me about 5 months to get all my certifications, everything. And then July of 2019, I walked away from the job completely. And I started my journey. And once I started my journey with servicing adults with developmental disabilities, I couldn't afford to like payroll and all that stuff. So I started doing non-medical transportation. And so once I
Mm.
started doing non-medical transportation, I started getting real good at it. Making my little independent money, was getting paid through the Medicaid. And what happened in March of 2020?
Phew, everybody got squeezed
the,
real
the
bad is what
pandemic.
happened. Mm-hmm.
So I lost all my clients working as a non-medical transportation provider. And one thing I noticed was the residential providers were still making money because the individuals that I was transporting, they were at home. So
Mm-hmm.
they still needed services through the pandemic and all.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I quickly switched my model to residential and haven't looked back since, man. Um, did six figures my first year in business. Then quickly after that, the last 2 years been seven-figure business for me. And now for the past 2 years, I've been touring the countries with my homegirl Sharonica Holmes. Shout out to Sharonica,
Okay.
the Hope influencer, and then also my good friend Miss Marie Hayes, the group home queen down in Phoenix, Arizona. And I've been touring the country with them for the last 2 years, showing people how to, open up these homes. And it's been so successful. And I just launched my community, the Group Home Millionaires. And that's what I do, man. Show people how to open up these group homes. So here I am.
That's so impactful because, man, you not being a gatekeeper with the information that you have. A lot of people have that stereotype about us that we withhold information and don't share. I really appreciate you for deciding, like, no, I'm going to be the example of, no, that's not who we are. That's not the way we do things. We do know how to operate in a professional manner. It's
Absolutely.
not necessarily based off of where we come from, because all of us got a story and a past. But it's what you doing with your time. I think that's the most important part, because we could talk about freedom. I think that's a part of what you do. Um,
Absolutely.
Freeing people
Yeah.
from the mindset of, you know, why not me?
And
Because a lot of us play that in our head. How can I really afford that? I'm definitely in that position right now where that's a goal of mine. It's been a goal of mine for a while, but what am I doing to meet that goal? I think that was the most important part about me getting you on the show, so I could go back and watch and take notes and start applying, because regardless to how much information you get or give, it's really about you applying it. It's not
it's
so
it's
much of the
it's
information you're
application.
getting.
It's application. And I do want to point this out. That you said talk about gatekeeping. Man, I had to accumulate. I first of all, I want people to understand that those third shifts that I had to, do the research, look through the company's file cabinets and stuff. Um, Go out in these storms, get these call offs, restraining clients in the mud. You know, this is the stuff that everybody is paying for. I really want to talk to you because I've gave out the information before, and when you're not ready to receive, you're just not ready to receive. One
Mm-hmm.
thing I did when I prepped for this takeover with the company is that I always constantly worked on myself. I constantly prepared myself for the information, and I stayed in my lane. A lot of people can get this information and still not gonna do nothing with it because they're not properly ready for this information. So and then it's a lot of time wasting. I used to do 15-minute consultation calls and stuff like that. And I get on the call and and this is just trial and error. Hey, how do you start an LLC? Or I'm not sure what home I want to start. Like, I mean, I'm talking about 2 years of that. T. So it's like wasting a lot of my time, man, and I'm time broke nowadays. And so what I came to realize is people will receive the information if they pay for it. If they don't pay for it, people do not retain the information. They
And
will they
that's
will
so
drain you to
sad.
death.
That's
It
so
is.
sad, because that is one of the biggest disservices to yourself.
Yeah.
For the simple fact that people is charging whatever they charging for the same information that you can get for free. If
That,
if you
and that's real.
it,
And
it
I'm gonna
it's
say this
your
on this
it's
live.
your mindset, I believe. It
Yeah.
have to start with your mindset,
It,
because this is 4 years in, and people is just now starting to know who I am with this thing. Outside of them knowing me from maybe school or jobs or different places I done lived over the years, but it took consistency. I wasn't seeing the same results that I'm seeing now when I wasn't doing the work. I think a lot
mhm.
of people want the results without doing the work. And that's just
Oh
not simply how
man, you
things
you hit it.
go.
You took the words out of my mouth. So I could literally I'll stay on this live and tell you the absolute truth. Anybody looking to start group homes, you can find the information yourself. Let this be a public record. I don't care. You can find the information yourself. But guess what, T, Sister T? They not gonna do it. They want the lifestyle. They want that microwave effect. They want the Cartier bust down. They want all that,
Uh,
but they don't want to put in that work. And that's what I'm
and
saying. You.
that's what the world, that's what society has done to a lot of people. We don't, and I shout out to the free thinkers, because that's so important for you to disconnect from what it is you've come to know. Some of those things help you move forward, but most of them don't. If you want to do anything on your own, as far as being a boss, because I hear people saying, "Oh, I'm a boss." Listen, until you got
That
to
sounds good on the
pay
track.
everybody else before yourself,
Come on,
okay, you not a boss.
come
You can't
on.
tell nobody you no boss,
I,
because that
I
means you're being selfless. And it's not just a job. It's a passion. It's a purpose. It's more to it than I gotta do it. This is why I'm saying it's your mindset, because your mindset should be I get to do it.
Yeah.
I think that's why we struggle financially, because this is all a part of the stuff that you sharing with us. It starts with your mindset. Our mindset is
Mindset is
messed up.
everything. I can remember walking through the airport and just listen to E.T. the hip hop preacher, listening to Damon John, The Power of Broke. You know, I've always been in like a, you know, when I used to do network marketing, shout out to my boy
Yeah.
Nate Starworth, man, because
I did too.
man,
I
I
absolutely
learned
did.
so much
Mm-hmm.
from
Yeah.
network marketing. One thing I really took away, my takeaway from network marketing is personal development. So, you know, I got 3 books right down here, right in front of me. Profit from Podcasts, Zero Down, which shows you how to acquire people businesses with zero money down, and then Leadership, leading me. So this is just a small. I mean, you got books. Who Moved My Cheese? Of course, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yes. Oh,
Man, come
that's one of my
on.
favorites. The Rich
The
Dad Poor Dad.
um I think it's the 7 highly effective habits of effective people. I mean, it goes on and on. You know what I'm saying? I just constantly work on myself, whether it's in my ear or I'm actually reading it, man. I'm on top. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what been the game changer for me. And then surrounding myself with, I mean, not being afraid to get out here. I can't make no connections down here in this basement. But guess what? I'm outside. I'm traveling the country. I'm meeting people. I'm speaking to people in the elevators. If you're sitting on the plane next to me, you're gonna get this group on work.
Yeah.
For real. You're
and
gonna
and
get
that's
this
and
work.
that's how people should know that it's bigger than you.
Hmm.
Is it? Yes, it started with you, because you absolutely have to be the example first to get
Hmm.
anybody to follow you in anything that you're doing. That
Hmm.
is what I've learned by doing this.
Okay.
I started out, I had Knuckles on here a couple weeks ago, and we was talking
Shout out to Man
about things.
Vanity.
Right. Shout out to Manic Vanity. Um, we was talking about when you expect certain things from certain people,
Hmm.
what that can do to your drive, your ambition. And I was talking to him about me, crying and about certain people not supporting me, and he was like, that's such a pressure to put on us as a people, as though we don't know what people's circumstances or situations may be. That pressure of, oh, you have to support me. He was like, if it's something that you really want to do and you passionate about it, it doesn't matter who's supporting you. You're not doing it for the support anyway. You're doing it so you can align yourself with what's for you. I thought that was a great nugget for him to drop,
Man.
because I think a lot of people don't understand. They don't get it. And you got to be willing to risk it all behind what you believe, your visions, how
The
you
new
see things.
term, standing on business.
You have to. and
Standing on
and you have to
business.
know that failure is along the way. It's not on the other side. I think a lot of people have been misconstrued by that concept of believing that failure is on the other side of success. No, it's along the way to you getting to success, but it's not on the other side. That's you taking the time to have victory and overcome certain things. Because
Oh my
I've
God.
been in rooms with millionaires. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? We wouldn't even believe that that's who they was, but getting game, like rubbing shoulders with people who got what you want, I think is very powerful too, to whatever you're doing, because it's a trickle down effect. It has no other way but to trickle down on you.
Yeah. I've noticed one thing about, the millionaire mindset and what separates myself from success and the really highly effective and successful people. And it's some small things like when people, hey,
Mm-hmm.
what's the blueprint, OG? And let me understand, man. One thing, man, I always, man, consistency, Consistency. I got a bracelet that say consistency is key.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Because it
just like
is. It's a bunch of
people be
small
messing
little
around on
wins that
the smallest thing.
it's a bunch of small little wins that you string together for the blow up, for the fireworks, for the overall goal to be accomplished. I believe is how I
Hey,
see things.
you know, Warren Buffett has like these mentorships where you can like, for
Mm-hmm.
$1 million or something like that, and you can sit down with him. He probably say some simple stuff like, "Yeah, all you gotta do is be consistent. Thank you for your time. Good night." Probably leave out of there.
And you didn't
I'm
just
just
cashed out for something that you already know, for something that you've already heard for free.
man. I get on these calls, T, all the time,
So where
and
where do we start? Where do we start? Because I think that's the most important part. Where
group
do we
homes.
start? Do
One,
to
you're gonna identify what niche you would like to serve.
mm,
If
okay.
you don't know your demographic, then you don't know where to go already. You're gonna lost. You're gonna type in group homes. That word is so broad that
Mm,
if you go in and you're gonna type in group homes, and the terminology is so different in every city and state, is crazy. So
okay.
you can't just say group home, or you're gonna say uh, servicing adults with developmental disabilities. You're gonna
Okay.
say juvenile housing. You're gonna say age out of foster care. You're gonna say foster care. You're gonna say halfway housing. You're gonna say senior living. All right, what we talking about? Veteran living. What we talking about?
Oh,
It's 10 plus
so
different
you need to be,
categories.
so what you're saying is we need to be specific
Yeah,
about what
you
we
need to
want to
niche
do.
down.
Okay. Okay. All
What
right.
what
I'm
what
I'm taking
demographic are you
notes.
serving?
I'm
What
taking notes as
demographic
we
are you
go.
serving? Because people get frustrated. You trying to do senior living because you inherited your mom's house and it's a ranch and you think it'll be good to do some assisted living in there, but you looking up group home for 6 months. And the things that's needed for a group home. So now you get frustrated because you're not finding the right information, and you just give up on the dream and sell your grandma house. I heard so many of these
Ooh,
stories before
wee.
where
I had a
people
young
can't navigate
girl.
to that state
I,
website,
I
and
had a
it's just
young
because
girl
you're
on.
not starting out the gates right.
Right. I had a young girl on here earlier this year. She's bought her grandparents' house in the Buckeye area and
That's a
turned it into
scenario
a
I hear all the time.
and turned it into an art gallery, right smack dab in the middle of the hood.
Hmm.
30 something years old. I was floored. I mean, then rub shoulders with Nipsey Hussle. Stuff like that don't happen from where we come from. You know what I mean? Like,
Excuse me.
I was impressed because she was just stuck on not letting this house leave the bloodline and figuring out a way to create generational wealth for her parents and her siblings.
Uh-huh.
And um, she talked about going to school for real estate and teaching it to her siblings and them collectively doing what was necessary to flip properties to maintain the grandparents' house.
Oh yeah.
She has a soft grand opening this year too. Shout out to her, India. I'll be posting more about it as I,
Please
find
do.
out.
I love to go something different like that.
I think it's dope. I think that all of us want that, but a lot of us just don't know where to start. And like you said,
Uh
frustration take place. Now you like, even forgot what I was even trying to do
huh.
because I done got so frustrated with the process. I want
Frustrated
people
and
to,
distracted.
yeah, but I want people to understand that everything has a process. Nothing is about to happen overnight with you just snapping your fingers and saying it. Yes,
Yeah,
you
well,
you
there you
definitely
go.
have to speak it, but you
Mhm.
got to do the work. You have to do the work. You can't just say like this is what I want and expect it to just happen. You're not doing no research, no homework. You're not giving yourself no type of knowledge. Like you have to. I really just, like you said, figure out what you want to do.
Mhm.
That's step one. What's after that? Like, okay, for example, my sister has a 3-family house. And it's crazy. Slavic Village, they've been trying to fix it up and change it
Oh man,
around for
they've been working
for
on
quite some
Silent
time.
Village.
Okay. I suggested the group home tour because now our kids is grown. Not to say that we don't want to keep it in the family. I just think that is so much responsibility behind it for one person. Her trying to do it on her own, still trying to maintain certain things like taxes and mortgage and blah blah blah. What would be a good suggestion for somebody that's in her position that actually already owns the property but wants to kind of tap into the group home thing?
Okay, so what's number one?
Figure out your what you want to do.
Yep. And, and number two would be um, write down her address and then check with zoning.
Okay.
So you would check with zoning. Once you check with zoning and understand what can and can't be in that area, now you cooking now. Now
Okay.
you gonna go through if it was juvenile housing, job and family services, and what the requirements are to set up a home, whether it is to go through another government entity and come back and call them once you've done all the irregulation stuff and all the above, to get this certification and all that for the house or the certificate for occupancy, all the above. You get that done first, and then you go through the rest of the steps. So the rest of the steps determines whether the what type of home it's going to be, and then they'll let you know on their particular website what type of home. So, like for instance, I do sober living, so Ohio Recovery Housing is one of the sites that I use for my certification. All my homes are certified. Um, a lot of people do unlicensed homes because it's faster to get into, but to me, I like to be straightforward and honest with you. One, I like the accountability of having to have it licensed because it kind of teaches you the right steps and the safety procedures and all the above.
Hmm.
It's accountability amongst for the provider because we have some slum providers out here if you didn't have any certifications and stuff like that, right?
Hmm.
So I like it, and then two, the one of the biggest reasons I like it is because it provides more money as well. Let's be
Okay.
straightforward and honest.
Well,
I just got to be honest with you.
I think that this is a wave, it's a trend of cutting corners, trying to do
Uh,
that don't work. Not
yeah.
when we talking about something like this or anything for that matter, but when we're talking
hmm
about being responsible for somebody's life,
hmm Yeah.
you have to
And so,
you have to do all the steps properly.
oh
No
yeah,
cutting corners will benefit what you're trying to do overall.
no, it
Because what
won't.
happens if you have an issue with one of your clients, but you didn't take the class or just get the certification for whatever is going on for that client? Then what do you do? Do you just
Yeah.
tell them like, "Well, I didn't
And,
know"? Like,
right. And these situations come about all the time where it'll say in the notes such and such suffers from some seizures, and you've been going 60 something days straight with him, man. He ain't had no issues. Um, next thing you know, you get y'all out the movies you think is sweet, and he having a seizure. What's your next procedure? What you supposed to do? What does your training tell you to do?
well,
Because
if
you
you didn't
signed off
have
saying
none,
this, right? When
well, if you didn't
you
have
signed
none, you
off.
don't know what to do. I think CPR is a great start, but it's so much more up under that to kind of make sure that somebody is safe medically, not just physically.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
um
And so,
somebody somebody said, is it possible to use rental houses, and how is that possible? Because I believe certification takes some months and this requires the address to be used.
yes,
Okay.
so with the rental house, you can lease a home. I lease my homes at the beginning phase. The only thing, the thing is, you got to have like one a relationship with the owner, for that certification to go through because it is going to take some time, or you're going to have some money saved up. You got to be invested. in the program. So
Ooh.
it's
Well, let's talk about it because
you gotta be
because
invested.
that's a big struggle for a lot of us. And I'm not taking away from a lot of us just didn't get taught finances. Some of
Hmm.
us went and seek that information. I would suggest that everybody that's on this live tonight do so. Whatever it is that you lacking or feel like you didn't get growing up, you go seek that information for yourself now
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're
because
responsible now for what's going on in your life. You don't have anybody to blame. In my
thank
opinion,
you.
I don't think none of us ever did have anybody to blame. It was just a convenience because it made us feel better about what we knew we wasn't doing or what we knew we was doing.
Man, since one I'm gonna say success leave receipts and success leave clues. So if you see that somebody is doing well
That's so
and you
good.
know they probably got a home loan or a car loan, or they probably look like they got good credit, holler at them, see what they do to keep their credit up and stuff like that. Holler at them to see what
Yeah.
are some of the things that they should be doing to really get to the next level. You know, ignorance should
Remove
not
your
be.
ego, please. It's the
Yeah, remove
ego.
your ego. Yeah,
Woo!
yeah.
It's gonna be your biggest downfall. Ego and pride.
Yo,
You
shout out
got
to
to
my
put
dude,
those to the
Group on
side to
Don.
get, yeah,
Yeah,
to get
shout
what's
out to my boy Group
necessary.
on Don down there
Right.
down in Dallas, man. He
He
doing
said
his
there are
thing,
too many
man.
tools out there for ignorance to continue. That's
Yeah,
facts.
yeah. The Group
That's
on
facts.
Don is
Yeah.
that
But
that
a lot
that guy
of
down
people
there. That's my
will
guy.
use that as a crutch to allow things to continue instead of
Yeah,
doing something about it.
yeah.
Um, I,
I had a Zoom with the Haitian CEO. Herman Dose, and man, he basically on the Zoom showed you how to get a free 50K from Chase Bank. I don't know if everybody been paying attention, but Chase Bank been giving out that bag.
Hey man, they ain't the only ones. It's another
I
guy I
know it's
follow.
so many, y'all.
Whoa,
Like y'all,
it's
dog. Come on,
see,
man.
I took a webinar for consumer law and credit repair for New Year's. While everybody was
Uh-huh.
out partying, I'm like, man, I don't want to start this year off the
Man, I
same
used to be
way I
bouncing in the
did.
club on New Year's.
I'm cool. I mean, I don't really celebrate holidays anyway, so it wasn't a big deal for me. But I thought, why not get it? He was offering it for
Hey,
free. It didn't make
uh-huh.
no sense why I wasn't in the webinar, But he
Mhm.
talked about um, our inability to follow through with the information, and that's why I was saying it really don't matter how much information somebody give you if you're not gonna follow through with what they telling you to do.
No,
And he
no
gave
doubt.
links out to different books that teach you about the law, how to write it, different apps, chat GPT and stuff like that, AI apps and stuff to use to write paperwork for to repair your credit in 3 or 4 days. But are you actually applying the information, or do you just see this man who put in the work and see the results that he have and be like, okay,
Uh-huh.
if I do this what he telling me one time, then it's gonna sustain the rest of my life. The world don't work like that. This is a series of you deciding like every day I'm gonna wake up. And if it's not broke, why am I trying to fix it? Whatever formula that I'm using is getting me the results and the success that I'm looking for. So every day I'm waking up with this mindset of I'm going to do it. It's gonna get done.
Yeah,
If I don't have
no
time
doubt.
to just chill and contemplate, I gotta make moves. Cause after you come up with a plan, you at that point it's time to make moves. You ain't just talking about it no more. You actually being about it. I think
Hmm.
during that shift, that hinders a lot of people because they'll quit before they even start,
Hmm.
and then be frustrated about not getting where they want to be. But you got to push through those feelings because they're gonna come. I think that's normal for it to happen, throughout the journey.
Yeah, Don talking about mindset. See, so mindset, man. Man, I prepared for this opportunity, man. I used to be walking through this airport. I used to be cleaning the airplanes, man. I used to be bouncing downtown Cleveland, just like constantly like working on myself and just shifting my mindset. So when the opportunity came, it was regular to me. I'm talking about I went from like 42 grand a year to like my first, I think before I moved to this house right here, I probably had like 250,000 in my bank account. Like seriously though, like man. But it was regular to me because I was already ready for it. I had been around, you know what I'm saying, folk them. you know,
Right now.
I seen it from, from the street aspect, but I never seen it from a business aspect, but it was still regular to me because I was already my mind had shifted already to prepare for it and to, to handle it. So that was regular to me. So it's some shifting. It's some things that you have to do to really prepare for opportunity, to prepare to give to people. Man, I swear, the more you give to people, the more that you will make money giving to people. Man, I've never seen
That's
somebody
so good.
focus
I hope y'all
stop
caught that,
focusing on
man.
the money so much, man.
I
And,
hope y'all caught that. That was so good. Woo! And that's why I said when we first started talking about being selfless, because if you take the spotlight off yourself and put it on somebody else, this is where favor and blessings and abundance come from, because you decided like, yes, I do want a certain thing for myself, but I also know that my purpose here is to serve, because you said it out your own mouth. You got to know what position you want to play within it
yeah,
all.
you help more people, you make more money. I want to give a
Woo!
shout out to my mom. She on the live checking us out.
Hi,
Mama
mama.
G, you raised a dog. I love you.
Young and successful three said the more you give, the more you receive. Absolutely.
Yeah, shout out to
Group home
Sade.
Don
She's
said,
she's in my group home
mhm,
community, so she's been.
mhm.
She actually, me and her used to work at the group homes together,
Well,
so she know me
look,
personally, man.
group home
I
Don
be spitting facts,
said
man.
people don't understand the power of acting as if. Let me tell you something.
Oh,
Let, let, let,
he
let me
gonna
just
cue them
speak
out for
on,
days. He got them for
because now
days.
he's talking about affirmations and speaking life in yourself. A lot of us weren't taught that. I started putting up little sticky tabs all over my house for my kids, in the bathroom, on the mirror, on the refrigerator, on the doors, starting to condition them to start saying certain things to themselves, and it not be looked at as something is wrong. Because why can't you say something positive and uplifting and encouraging to yourself the same way that you say negative stuff to yourself,
Mhm.
which diminishes your character and your self-esteem? So having affirmations and speaking life over yourself is the beginning of manifestation. And this is what you talking about, a shift in your mindset. It went from you thinking about it to you actually making moves to make it happen. That's manifestation. But a lot of us weren't taught that, so that's why we don't know. This is our opportunity. I mean, this is the age of information. We have no reason for why we don't know.
No doubt.
We have no reason for why we don't know. So yes, it absolutely have to start with you, your mindset, your thought process, um, planning. Please stop trying to keep everything up here. Start writing stuff down, taking
Right. I
notes. I
I
got
keep
so
my
many
note. I keep my
notebooks.
notebook close by
Okay,
me.
I got one sitting right here on the floor. I don't play. And
No, no
my
doubt.
daughter has even bought me ones small to fit in my purse. So I don't have a reason for why I'm not journaling,
Hmm.
because that's important. How you gonna retain all this information and not jot nothing down?
Hmm.
You can't. You gotta find a way to get it out. Okay, so once we figure out what our niche is and follow through with some of the steps,
Hmm.
what's what's the next step after that? Like, how do we close this thing out so that we can create a foundation to have something to build on? Because I think people just think you can build on anything. No, no, you got to have some type of foundation first.
I mean, it's other small details, but I just go to the bigger one. You're gonna prepare that home, and then you're gonna market your home, and you're gonna market that home. And while you're marketing that home, you can still be finishing the touch. I usually try to have my mentees like start working on the home, get the bedroom ready, take pictures of the bedroom, and then we start making coaching calls to the different agencies that's going to help you fill up your beds, because that's real important. Because I struggled. I had a house sit for 90 days because I just didn't market it right, and it sat for
Mm-hmm.
90 days because it's a lag in between you making these marketing calls to these different agencies, because these people are overworked and underpaid,
Okay.
so they are not. They hear you making a call all the time. Hey, I have a nice house and a few beds. You should come out and refer some people to me. Like, nah, they ain't trying to hear that. These people
uh,
make what I'm saying, peanuts. So, you gotta understand and know how to market the home. So getting in front of it, and then the numbers game as far as making these calls. And then it's not only calls, it's appearances to different events in the community. It's emails, it's who's a friend of a friend, tap rooting and stuff. This is stuff I teach people, what I'm saying, all the time, other than these basic phone calls and emails. Everybody can do that, but once you get involved in the community, once you go to an autistic event, if you're trying to
mm-hmm.
service adults with developmental disabilities,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of teens that's about to age out of their moms and dad's houses, and they want them to be more independent. So
Mm-hmm.
they need
Yeah.
somewhere to go. So I think you should be the company, if that's the individuals that you serve, that you need to be at this fair or whatever they going to be at. But that's just the way I teach it inside of my group home community. Text the word group homes to 33777. We'll get back to you. But honestly, man, I really love doing this, man. My man Group Home died. He has man, this dude is crazy in real estate. Now he just added the group. He down there in Dallas, in Texas, killing it. And
Okay.
now he's just added the group home aspect to it, and he's just going bananas with it, man. So I'm glad to see um, everything he's done up to this point, man. And the future's bright for him. Sade is actually one of the mentees inside of the Group Home Millionaires group, and she's like on the ball, so she's snowballing real fast, and I'm excited to support her because she used to be my coworker, and now we co-workers.
Right.
She used to be my
And
coworkers, and
and
now we
that's so dope.
co-workers.
That's so
Yeah,
dope
man.
when you get a
So
chance to. I think networking is so
it
amazing because
is. It is fun, man.
yeah, I've
It's
met so
fun.
many amazing people. I think
Yo,
it's a
it's so
gift
fun.
for you to.
I love networking. Like, people don't know, like, people pay me for it, but I mess around and do it for free because I really love doing it.
Mhm.
And then, well, I done had retreats. No, we didn't have retreats. We did a retreat in Punta Cana with a whole bunch of group home folks at a swim up bar.
Hey
Man, you ain't
man,
seen nothing like it,
hey
man.
look, I'll be all over your page. I'll be like, hey man, so what? You ain't. Hey man, tell wife, just get an extra bag. You go ahead and fold me up in there.
Hey, man.
Give me some little
But
snacks till we get where we
I,
going.
I have to give more glory to God, man, because
Yes, sir.
He ordered my
Mm-hmm.
steps. He
Mm-hmm.
put this in my vision.
That's so
Vision is everything,
good.
man.
Do
Vision
do
is
y'all
everything.
did
So,
y'all catch that? Listen, man. Nothing
man,
that anybody do in this life can be achieved or done without God's help, man. That's pivotal. You got to give credit where it's due. You have to. I'm so proud
I'm
of
so
you,
humble,
man.
man.
If if
Thank you,
if
man.
ain't nobody else been telling you, I'm watching you. You another trailblazer for the city with creating lanes that probably didn't exist before you decided to take it on, man.
I
And
mean,
so
again,
shout
you
shout
you
out
just
to
gotta
shout
be
out to you.
you gotta be conscious when God is trying to talk to you.
Ooh,
You can't be paying attention to Diddy. You can't be paying
Woo.
attention to why Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. You gotta
Man.
be
Come
focused
on,
on
talk.
what God is trying to
Speak.
show you and
Uh,
shine to you, man. He's
mm-hmm.
putting it right in your face. You hear it, man. I was listening to stuff and I was hearing group homes in my sleep. I was seeing it on movies. I was seeing it
Mm-hmm.
on everything. And I'm like, yo, it's group homes. Then I invested in myself. Look, before I even did this, I invested $15,000 for a girl to show me exactly like how to brand myself and all that. And I just wasn't understanding. And this whole process, when the language is new to you, it's new to you. 'Cause they like
Mm-hmm.
ticket items and sell it. I'm like, damn, what is all this language? You know, I'm down home Cleveland. It's like, your high ticket items and you know what I'm saying? The language, it was just moving too fast for me, just like school used to. But one of these nights, um, this lady named Connie Falls, and look up Connie Falls, y'all. She a beast. She has like a systems business. She structures your business in systems. Connie Falls. So she like,
Okay.
so what's your group home name? I'm like, just Duane Jr. And she like, why is it that? What do you do? I'm like, I help people start group homes. Oh no, that's not your name no more. It's Mr. Group Homes. I said,
Woo.
damn. That night.
Ooh, wee.
I
Look
went
at
in there
God.
and got that name real fast because no disrespect to you, but you got them underscores. You can't find some people sometimes. If
Mm-hmm.
if you on the bus, if you on the airplane real quick, or you in the elevator trying to get your stuff out, it's hard for them people to find. Yeah, underscore. Yeah, yeah. Come on, man, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? So like, Mr. Group Homes, that thing was available. I went and got it that night. And that's when he was born, man. And so I was able to go on stage and share my story. And that was a good weekend, man. I invested in myself, you know, and it's just like taking a chance, man. I ain't know what this $15,000 is for, man. Like 15 bears? Like, come on,
But
but you
that,
know what
I
I'm saying?
mean,
So well worth it.
wouldn't you agree that there is not a dollar amount that can really go attached to you growing, to
No,
you healing, to
it
you
ain't because
learning?
I didn't definitely up the
Yeah,
score since then.
I don't care what I
No,
gotta spend.
it's
I
not. But we have to condition our mind to move at those levels.
mm-hmm.
You have to be around people who's moving at those levels.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it ain't no Salisbury steak over here no more. You know what I'm saying? We want that good cut.
No, no, for
We
real
want that
though.
good cut, straight like that, and we
Yeah.
accept nothing less.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, this a good look. This a fact right here. When you text me like, "Hey, you almost ready?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I was coming from Wendy's and I was getting my son. My son asked, "Hey, Don, for real." So I was coming from Wendy's. This real talk, y'all. Real just happened about an hour ago, an hour and some change ago. And my son ordered a meal, right? And he asked, Wendy's got that, that nice strawberry lemonade. They got the different flavor lemonades,
Yeah.
right? And so we pulled up and we got all the order, but we didn't get the lemonade. And the girl was like, "Oh, I ain't ring that up. I'm sorry about that. I had to ring you up." I was like, "That's cool. You can ring it up." She's like, "I can just give you like a fountain, the little fountain lemonade, like the little Minute Maid little lemonade."
No, that
I
ain't
said,
it.
"No, baby, you can put that on. I'll give you my card for payment again. I want the real thing, baby." So
No, no, for
Salisbury
real though.
steak, Minute Maid lemonade, we just not selling for less no more. And you'll come to find and realize it's just a norm now. It's a norm.
Yeah.
And it's stuff that we've been witnessing at AT, man. We've been seeing these people in Beechwood and Shaker Heights just live. It's like, how are these people living like this? And we
Mm-hmm.
just breaking generational
Mm.
curses because
Speak,
it's
man.
normal now.
Ooh.
It's normal.
Yeah.
It's normal.
But
All this stuff is normal. It's
yeah.
normal. It's normal. It's normal. I'm going to, man, please. All this stuff is normal.
We creating brands. We not just wearing them.
It's normal.
That take motivation. That take
It's
ambition.
normal. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man, it's
Mm-hmm.
normal to me.
And,
Sorry, it's normal.
as it should, because you've created the lane set the foundation, and put in the work. That's all that cars, planes, vacations, that's all of that shows, is that somebody actually did the work.
Yeah, you gotta be purposeful with that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
man. You gotta be the ancestors want you to just be, they want you to boast. I be chilling like,
Woo!
nah, I'ma
Come on,
chill.
man. Come on. And see,
Nah,
you now you talking that
I
talk
ain't gonna
now.
really
No,
show it.
man, come on. Go
I ain't
ahead,
gonna
talk
really
that
do
talk. Cause
that. You
see,
know what I'm saying?
people don't
Look,
understand that your ancestors is directly connected, man. They don't hear us. They don't hear us. Because they are the ones who pushing. They the ones who pushing. They already knew that you was gonna be the one. See,
yeah.
it's a thing when you chosen. I
Hey,
don't want to say you been
as
chosen
Group Home Done, man. I didn't have no business. We had a training Friday and Saturday. I had no
and chosen.
business. Yo, as Group Home Done, I came into Dallas for one purpose only. I flew into Dallas on Wednesday and brought my videographer with me to go to his group homes early. I invested that money to come there early because one, I wanted to go see what this brother had going on and seemed so solid. And two, I was willing to invest to bring my camera crew out there and come out there early, spend early days and flights, and I have my security do with me. So I had my camera guy with me and my security guy with me to come see Group Home Done, man. And that's the small things that you just gotta just take in, man, and just be like, you gotta be on it every single time, man. So you can't waste it on Diddy. You can't waste it on
Oh, hey,
non-meaningful
listen.
stuff, man.
You
That's
can't
not
waste it on no distractions.
no
Because at
distraction.
this point, this season is how bad do you
Hallelujah,
want it?
hallelujah. Hell of a
How
time, yes, Don.
how bad do you want it? That's what season this is. I hope every single person that chimed in tonight, I hope y'all caught all of them nuggets, man. But this the season. We ain't sitting around feeling sorry for ourselves, talking about what we used to do. No, we actually doing it.
No.
Uh, Shout out to you again, Duane. Hey, listen, man. I'm proud of you. Keep doing what the heck you doing, man, at 100 miles per hour, because woo, man, you setting the standard. And
Hey, T, thank you again because just speaking and talking about the story, it's just super therapeutic, man. You know, it was a tough week, man, and um,
yeah.
this is therapeutic to talk about. It helps you reflect on some things.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you reflect, and it helps you think about, what you want to continue to do and to really, uh, yeah, man, mine too, bro.
But see, that's what happens when you get around like-minded people
No, no doubt,
that's
no
going
doubt.
places, that's actually doing things. Now you got somebody to, I don't want to use the term piggyback, but latch on to, because that's
Yeah.
important. You not about to win a championship by yourself.
No,
It's
no.
impossible. It takes a amazing support system and team to get things accomplished, man. So shout
What's
out
up?
to everybody
What's up,
that's,
Don? Y'all ready for Ohio, man? What's up?
yeah, come on through, man. Come on through, man. Cause we got plenty of properties that just need some TLC, that just need somebody to care. Um, if we all just get on this bandwagon,
Thank
man.
you, Siobhan. That's one of our team moms. Thank you, Siobhan.
Um,
Yeah.
my cousin is Kim Johnson, Keller Williams.
Oh,
She
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
now she is now in Chicago selling $1 million properties. The real estate thing is been around my family for quite some time at this point. Some of us latched on to it, some of us didn't. Shout out to all of y'all that's actually licensed to do real estate.
What?
My brother, my brother is
So-
actually doing it, and he was like, "You gonna have Duane on your show?" Young Guidance, John. He does real estate now too. So like,
okay.
this is the start of a conversation that's gonna help all of us get on the right track to moving our lives forward, at least creating a legacy that we can leave behind for our kids and grandkids and great grandkids, because they'll be here sooner than later.
No doubt. Hey, no doubt. You know, make sure you follow Group Home Dime, man, and you
I'm
know, yeah,
definitely
that's my dude.
gonna follow him for
And I'll
sure.
come.
For
Mhm.
sure, definitely gonna follow him.
Yes,
he
yes,
he
indeed.
he is he has been great
Oh no, you gotta know,
part of the conversation.
you gotta hear his words. That guy's a breaky.
Well, hey,
He's a true passionate
don't
man of
be a
God.
stranger, Group Home Don. You know who I am
Hey,
now. Follow me. You know, I'm gonna get you on the show. Let's talk.
Group Home
This
Dime.
this
Yeah.
episode has been very helpful, man. I appreciate you showing up for me. Hey, man, this has been another episode of Unspoken Truth Podcast. I'm your host, Denise. I hope that y'all learned something tonight. It's Friday. Be safe out there. It's a lot going on. Love on your people. Check on your strong friends. Go
No
do
doubt.
something for somebody this weekend. I love y'all. I will see y'all next Friday. Oh, we moving to a new date. I will definitely be promoting and letting everybody know what date that is. But I will see y'all next Friday. I love y'all. Be safe.
Thanks,
Peace.
guys. Thanks,
You're
C.
welcome. Thank you.
All right, peace.